Ensuring teacher quality through competency framework and standards. Table of contents. Quality teachers and teacher quality defined. The competency framework for teachers in Southeast Asia. The Philippine Qualifications Framework. Philippines Professional Standards for Teachers. Quality teachers and teacher quality defined. In Lesson 3, we have discussed much about the attributes of teachers in the 21st century. What really is a quality teacher? Quality teachers are characterized by the different skills needed in the 21st century education. Partnership 21st identify themes that are relevant to the changing times. These are global awareness. Global awareness, an ability to understand, respect, and work well with people from diverse cultures is increasingly important for social and academic success in an interconnected world. The idea behind the global awareness is to create global citizens who are open to those raised in different countries, cultures, and religious settings. Number 2 is financial, economic, business, and entrepreneurial literacy. According to the Partnership for 21st Century Skills, school must not only focus on mastery of core subjects but also promote understanding of academic content at much higher level by weaving 21st century interdisciplinary themes into core subjects. Number 3, civic literacy. The knowledge and skills to participate effectively in civic life through knowing how to stay informed, understanding governmental processes, and knowing how to exercise the rights and obligations of citizenship at local, state, national, and global levels. Last is health literacy, the degree to which individuals have the capacity to obtain, process, and understand basic health information and services needed to make appropriate health decisions. With these themes in mind, the 21st century skills framework are clustered into 3. First is learning and innovation skills framework. Include critical thinking and problem solving, creativity and innovation, and communication and collaboration and technology skills. Second is information, media, and technology skills framework include information literacy, media literacy, ICT, or information communications and technology literacy. Lastly is life and career skills framework, which was discussed truly in Lesson 3. Quality teachers are competent teachers. Teachers with global competence are able to demonstrate knowledge, skills, values, and dispositions as described below. Number 1 is understand one's own cultural identity and its influence on personal disposition and classroom practices. 2. Know and integrate global dimensions in the subject one teaches. 3. Engage students in learning. 4. Use real-life, local, and global examples. 5. Value the inputs of culturally and linguistically diverse learners. 6. Create environment cultural interactions. 7. Model social responsibility in local and global contexts. And 8. Help learners find appropriate actions to improve local and global conditions. Having the appropriate competencies for the teaching, describe a quality teacher. Can quality teachers provide teacher quality in our schools? Teacher quality is a bit difficult to define for some countries like the US. It has shifted its definition of teacher quality from the possession of a credential or certification to what students know and are able to do with what they were taught by their teachers. This is related to the outcomes-based education. The OECD has proposed in the discussion table that the core elements of the teacher quality standards should include planning and preparation, including knowledge of content and pedagogy, knowledge of students' coherent instructional plans, and knowledge on how to assess student learning. These can be steps in teaching methods. Think of where students will learn faster. Classroom environment, including creating a culture for learning and managing student behavior, where children will be comfortable and at ease while in class, what they should consider and what they should be accustomed to in the room that the teacher needs to manage. Instruction, including communicating effectively, using appropriate discussion techniques, engaging students, and providing responsive feedback to learners. Must be followed and rules within the classroom that must be maintained actions or habits. Professional responsibilities including reflecting on teaching, communicating with families, contributing to the school and community, and developing professionally. Things teachers should consider, it must be done and will be a reflection as teacher. Communicating is the key to gain more information about their students. There are differences in the context of how teacher quality is defined and hence, there is no universal standard of teacher quality. The teaching profession needs to have standards in a way that other professions have to advance its status. This should be developed and owned by the teachers themselves, like in Finland, Sweden, and Denmark. In other countries, teacher standards for teacher quality are set at the national or state levels, but with consideration for local flexibility in the implementation. In summary, quality teachers are defined by their attributes and characteristics, while teacher quality is defined by the standards set for the profession and validated by the students' learning outcomes. The competency framework for teachers in Southeast Asia. This includes combining qualities, activities, responsibilities, and how you can be called a teacher. All procedures and duties to be followed as a teacher. 4 essential competencies. Number 1, knowing and understanding what to teach. It is the ability of teachers to depend and broaden their knowledge on what to teach, understand education trends, policies, and curricula, and be updated on local, national, regional, and global developments. Number 2, helping students to learn. It is the ability to know students, use the most effective teaching and learning strategies, assess and give feedback on how students learn. 3. Engaging the community. It is the ability to partner with parents and caregivers involved. 4. Becoming a better teacher every day. This is the ability to know oneself and others, practice human goodness, and then master the teaching practice. The framework was agreed upon by the Ministers of Education of the Southeast Asian, including the Philippines. It will be used as a guide to determine teacher quality across the region. The Philippine Qualifications Framework. As part of the Asian Converge and in the light of globalization, each country in the Asian, the Philippines adopt national standards and levels for outcomes in education. This is called the Philippine Qualifications Framework, which is provided by law, Republic Act 1096-8. based on the level of education as PQF Level 6. The PQF describes the career path for baccalaureate degree programs including teacher education degrees. All graduates from the baccalaureate degrees are expected to exhibit outcomes as described in Table 4. Level of outcomes: knowledge, skills, and values. Descriptor of outcomes: graduates possess a broad level of coherent knowledge and skills in their field of study or professional work and lifelong learning. Application of professional work in a broad range of discipline and for further study. Degree of independence independent or in terms of relate field. Philippines Professional Standards for Teachers. Based on the Teacher Education and Development Map in 2006, Philippine teacher education is defined as a lifelong journey from entry to basic education in the DepEd to entry to teacher education institutions of the CHED to license as a professional teachers of the PRC to employment to DepEd with attestation of the civil service or private-based basic education. In both public or private education, a newly recruited teacher undergoes a teacher induction program led by the Teacher Education Council, and the private institutions are assisted by the Private Education Assistance Council. While in service, the professional teacher continues professional development through trainings by the duty of authorized service providers of the PRC or continue professional development through advancement in education. The continuing professional development continues until the person retires from employment or continues to practice the profession in another capacity. In the middle of this professional lifelong cycle are the professional teacher standards